supports New Brunswick. And Cape Breton supports New Brunswick. Alright. So I've had a few people say to me, oh, you came all the way from Cape Breton, that's kind of far to come. Well, in 1942, Theodore Vachon, my great uncle, got on a ship with the Canadian military, and he fought in Holland, and he fought in a few other places. For a number of months, he sat in a foxhole, and he told me stories when I was little, and I know for a fact, he shot and killed some Nazis to defend our freedom. You're pretty damn right I'm going to drive from Cape Breton to do what we're doing today to defend our freedom. Because it's not going to happen again on our watch. No. Not again. Nope. Patty asked me to say a few things about what's going on in our side of the world or outside of the border. Just earlier today when we parked over where we parked by the park there, I had to walk across the road because it's the courthouse, the courtroom there, I guess the law office or whatever it's called.
It's the city.
And right there in their doors are a sign that says masks are required to enter. It's pretty bad when the courtrooms don't even know the laws of our land. Right? And here we are trying to educate our own law people about the laws of our land. Our medical system, as you know, in Canada are pretty dire. In Nova Scotia, things are pretty bad. As you know, our Prime Minister, Black Rock Houston, we're calling him Black Rock Houston. The news is coming out, his ties and affiliations with Black Rock. One of my sons, who's also in the military as a reservist, trained sniper to defend our country. He also is unjabbed. Suffered an accident a year and a half ago. He's been waiting for surgery for a year and a half. He has seen over half a dozen surgeons, and on December the 6th, just a few days ago, went to the QE2 to finally have his surgery to repair his arm. Got there early in the morning. He had his arm all marked up, sat for 7.5 hours in one of those blue gowns, waiting for his surgery. He sat in a chair just outside the break room where the nurses go. 7.5 hours, heard the nurses going in and out. There was another surgeon there actively recruiting nurses for a new practice he's starting, a private practice, because this surgeon couldn't get enough nurses to do all the surgeries that he was doing. At the end of the day, my son's still waiting, was told by staff, we're sorry, we can't do your surgery today because your surgeon can't find enough nurses to do your surgery. And that's what happened. Exactly. They were all let go. So that's kind of the state that we're in. Today, my wife and I are marching through the streets, and I'm so happy we're not being polite anymore and walking on the sidewalks. It's time we take to the streets. This is how we gotta do it. And we are walking with our Canadian flag, but we are marching with it upside down. Not out of disrespect to our country.
No.
But when our Canadian flag is upside down, that means that the country it represents is in distress. And that's why we are marching with it upside down.
By Trudeau.
A very well-meaning citizen came and was trying to turn it right side up. We said, no, it's upside down for a reason. Our country is in distress.
That's right.
Now, I'm going to keep this short. New Brunswickers, do you like to eat?
We need to eat.
Well, a few people over here like to eat. I don't know about you guys.
Oh yeah, we need to eat.
Yeah? See, I'm from Montreal, and I like to eat, like poutine and, you know. Do you guys like to eat?
How about
Are you willing to fight for what you like to do? And there are certain hills that you are willing to...
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Not just fight on.
Die on.
Die on. You're saying it, right?
Yep.
Here's a suggestion for you. Some of you come from very small communities. There may be one grocery store. it would be helpful for you as citizens to go into those grocery stores and have a talk with their managers and explain what's going on and how you really feel.
I've done it.
They may be sympathetic. I'll tell you why I say that.
They are.
In Germany, they tried to pass what they're trying to pass here. And Germany said, no way, we're not enforcing it. And this is why I say that. The government is saying, well, we're going to give them the option.
Yeah.
Which grocery store is going to take somebody making minimum wage at the door and give them the responsibility? Seriously.
Yeah.
You're concerned citizens, you're hungry, you have a right to movement, you have a right to basic liberties and food.
And food, yeah.
Fight for what you believe in. That's why we're here. We're going to win this.
Superstore said they would
Next
not
we have
honor
Jamie Winslow, 16-year-old child advocate of the Atlantic Provinces. Good afternoon, Moncton. My name is Jamie Winslow. This might be familiar and it might be new, but I can assure you that it won't be the last time that you hear from me.
Right on.
I am from Halifax, Nova Scotia, and we are all here today with the same concerns for Canada, our freedoms. We are expressing our concerns on what is happening because it's not right. Premier Blaine Higgs, I feel that this overreach is in place to provoke us. How dare you give grocery stores the option to enforce these restrictions and to decide upon enforcing them? And any grocery store to implement the draconian measure will regret, face lawsuits, and lose business. They want us to be aggressive. They want to label us as crazy resistors, and they want to push fear on the people. Why? To fear us into complying? To follow their agenda? Now has become the time that the vaxxed and unvaxxed need to come together. Because I'm sure none of us want to go down the road that we are heading for. The more they can get away with, the more they will push.
No China, no China, no China.
These times are very important to show the resistance and the power of the people. We need to stand up and push back. We need to show them that enough is enough. We need to make noise and be loud. I would like to add that I have created a Facebook group for like-minded youth to freely express themselves and tell their stories without being censored and without being shamed upon. It gives them a safe place to be heard and feel supported. It's for all children under the age of 18 who have decided to stand up for their freedom of choice and not get the vaccine. It also provides a safe place for children who have been victim of an adverse event from the vaccine. And victims that did not give informed consent. Thank you. Our next speaker is 12-year-old Olaf. Let's hear it. Hello, my name is Olaf. I'm 12 years old. I like to play outside. I like swimming, climbing, downhill biking, snowboarding, and riding my dirt bike. I also like to watch movies, read books, play guitar, and bake. 20 months ago, they closed my school because of a virus. They canceled my skiing and other sports because they said it was about our health. They also canceled the guitar concert at my school. A few months later, they told us we had to wear masks in the hallways. And later, we had to wear them all day. But by that time, me and my sisters had started homeschooling. This summer, they closed sports for unvaccinated children. They had also closed restaurants, the swimming pool, and the library. I love to read. The government says we have a choice, as long as we say yes. In the Hardy Boys books that I like to read, that's called blackmail. I have two sisters who have Down syndrome. Because they have an extra chromosome, they have an immune disorder. My sisters were injured by vaccines when they were still a baby. For years they had lots of allergies, and we never ate candy or junk food. My mom was always super careful about what food we eat and about medical drugs and vaccines. This vaccine is still experimental. Normally it takes up to 10 years to test a new vaccine. That is why we are not vaccinated. The government is doing everything to make our lives miserable.
Amen.
They tried to make our lives miserable, but I still managed to enjoy myself. I snowshoe in wintertime. I skate on ponds together with my best friend, who is vaccinated, and we ride our bikes. But now, the government has said that grocery stores can be closed if we don't take the vaccine. How will we get food? It's the start of winter. That is not blackmail anymore. That is not blackmail anymore. When the government decides that some people can starve to death, I don't even have a word for that. They want us so badly to take this vaccine. They want us so badly to take this vaccine that they're willing to starve us. I know this is not about health. And now I'm even more sure I do not want to get the vaccine. My best friend is vaccinated. I don't even think he wants to take it anymore. In school, I learned about other times when people were separated and seen as dangerous. In the olden days, they used to throw leopards out of towns. Imagine doing that today with people who have an illness. I also learned that black people were separated from their whites in the United States in the past. They had separate schools and had to sit in the back of the bus. I wrote an essay about Martin Luther King at school this year. He was a freedom fighter. He did not hate white people. He understood that black and white people had to live in peace to make change. If you hate each other, you will never live in peace. The only way to change a bad situation is if people unite. I don't hate anyone who is vaccinated. My best friend is vaccinated. I don't hate anyone for being in a different situation than me. Do you hate me? Are you really afraid of me? Do you want me, my sisters, and many other kids in New Brunswick to starve to death this winter? We need you to speak out and not let that happen. Maybe some people who are vaccine injured, like my sisters, will need us in the future. One of the things Martin Luther King said was, in the end, we will not remember the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends.